welcome back to my channel. Sorry about my dishwasher, I've only just put it on and then realised that I was filming, so you're going to have to excuse the sound of the dishwasher. Today I'm going to be making banana cake because it's my mum's birthday and this is her favourite cake. It's a family recipe and I'm taking it from this old photo that I took of the original recipe that's at my grandma's house. So it's all in imperial. I'm going to try and convert it into metric as I go and hopefully get it right for everyone at home. But it was my granddad's favourite birthday cake and now it's my mum's favourite birthday cake. It's my favourite birthday cake as well. So here we go. Okay, so I've just weighed everything out. I'm going to run through it, show you what it is in imperial and then try and convert it as I go along. I've got this fridge magnet which has all weights and conversions. That's what I'm going on. So we'll give this a go and see if it works. So I start off with 4 ounces of butter, which according to my magnet is 113 grams. You could probably use 115 grams and it wouldn't make that much difference if you want a nice rounded number. 4 ounces of caster sugar, again that would be 113 grams or thereabouts. 1 egg. I also need to put salt in the cake, but didn't feel there was much point in showing that. 3 bananas on my lovely banana tree. It will have bicarbonate of soda in, it will just have a small teaspoon of it, but I'll show you that later. It's going to have 2 tablespoons of milk and it has 8 ounces of self-raising flour, which is, according to this, 227 grams or maybe 230, whichever you prefer. Okay, I've got an 8-inch tin, which is what I'm going to bake it in. It's got slightly taller sides than a sandwich tin because it's just one big cake, it's not a sandwich cake. This is also loose bottomed and got this clip which enables you to get the cake out faster, which is a lot of help if I'm honest. I've lined it like how I showed you how to do in my Victoria sandwich video a couple of videos back if you want to check that out and see how to line a cake tin properly. I'm also going to be using my pink KitchenAid, I love it, so let's get started. Okay, so I've just put the oven on. It's at 180 degrees fan, so that's 200 degrees regular or gas mark 4. I'm trying to do this in a bit of a hurry, so to soften the butter I just chucked it in the microwave for about 30 seconds so it's nice and soft to be incorporated in with the sugar. So first of all, butter, see how nice and soft it is, and sugar. And just going to cream that all together and whisk it up. Whilst that's whizzing away, I'm just going to mash up the bananas. So I'm just going to put the bananas in a bowl, get a fork and squash them. Break them up with your hands, give yourself a bit of a chance. You can use a food processor for this if you prefer. It does take a long time with a fork. But you don't want to lose the texture of the bananas, because that's what really makes this cake so nice. And mash. Okay, so I've creamed the butter and the sugar together and they should look like this, nice and light and airy. And I've mashed the bananas to look like that. I think everyone knows what mashed bananas looks like. So I'm just going to add in the egg. Just going to tap it on the side and go in, trying not to get any shell in, but it's not a disaster, you can always fish it out. And whizzing that in together. That's all mixed in. I'm going to add the bananas and off we go again. Okay, so I just put half a teaspoon of salt in there, and I'm just gonna whiz it up. Lovely. It doesn't look very nice at the moment. I won't tell you what I think it looks like, but I'm just gonna move it out of the way so I can start dissolving some bicarbonate of soda in some milk. 2 tablespoons of milk. And a small teaspoon of bicarbonate of soda. I'm just going to dissolve it. In. And bring back the KitchenAid. Okay, I'm just going to take the bowl out now. It's in. Stir it around. And it's still looking pretty weird, which is fine. Don't be put off by this. This is perfectly normal. Okay, now I'm just gonna add in all the flour. Fold it in. And this is when it starts to look more like a cake batter that we know and love. Into the cake tin, but get as much out as you can. Spread it out and then into the oven for 40 minutes. Now it's time to do the washing up, and then we're going to make some lemon buttercream icing. Okay, so I've taken the cake out of the oven and I'm letting it cool down, and I've measured out 110 grams of butter into a bowl. For the lemon buttercream icing, I'm using this recipe from Cupcakes from the Primrose Bakery. It's one of my first ever cupcake books, and it never fails with making cupcakes and icings. Got 110 grams of unsalted butter at room temperature or microwave temperature, and then I'm just going to grate in the zest of 1 lemon. And for this I'm using a microplane. You can pick these up at supermarkets. They're the best thing, I think, for zesting. You need to get the really, really fine one, and it just does it so quickly. It's important when you're zesting a lemon to only take off the dark yellow bit. If you start taking off this yellow bit, it's going to be really bitter. You only want that nice lemon freshness. Last bit of lemon in. And then shifting that out of the way, just going to cut the lemon in half. And then I'm just going to juice it. You can use, if you don't have a juicer, you can use a fork and sort of squeeze it and twist it on the fork. I'm going to squeeze both just in case. Here we go. And get a tablespoon measure. Now ultimately I'll want 500 grams of icing sugar in this. I'm just going to start off with 250. I always find that 500 grams is normally a little too much, so I'm going to start off with half that amount and keep adding little bits more until I get to where I want to be. Okay, so I'm just going to put in the sugar. I'm just going to weigh it as I go. You're never entirely certain how much it's going to make, and it's better to just pour it out of the thing. 259. We'll start with 259. I'm going to tap it on my hand. Icing sugar is notorious for getting lumps in, and you really need it to be as fine as it possibly can. So this is often when recipes say sieve flour and things, it doesn't. I don't feel that it really matters if you do or don't. But with icing sugar, it really matters. otherwise you end up with lumps and no one really likes lumpy buttercream. Like it nice and smooth and velvety. If yours is taking a little bit of a long time like mine is, you can always sort of swirl it around with a spoon. Be careful when you do this because it might flick out. Right, so now we're going to whisk this all up. Just going to put it on a slow setting to start with. Honest, that's the right stiffness that I wanted. I'm just going to check the flavour and see what I think. No, it's fine. I'd leave it exactly like that. So that was eventually, I think, 260 grams. Nothing wrong with that. If I put in any more, it would just be way too sugary. Okay, so I just transferred the cake onto a plate and now I'm going to get icing. I'm using a palette knife. And I'm just gonna plonk on the icing very unneatly, just to get it all on, and then see where we are. Right, and then just gonna smooth it around. Sort of push it more than. So you can always go around and touch things up because it's quite thick. You know, it's gonna be tasty. And just flick in those bits that are kind of leaning off. And just keep it a nice kind of circle. Oops. There we go. Nice swirl in the middle, and we're done. Hope you enjoy it. Thank you for watching my video. Give it a like, give it a subscribe, and leave a comment of what else you'd like to see me do. I really hope you enjoy this birthday cake. It's my favourite and I hope I can make it your favourite too. So see you next time. Bye!